Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining me again for another one of our interviews for our Startup Without Burnout Telesummit. And right now I have with me Brad Bergersen, who I have come to know very well. We actually are working on a venture together, which is awesome. So I had to highlight him. He is the 32-year-old founder and CEO of Alexander's Grace, an online platform company for entrepreneurs. He has successfully created and scaled 5 multi-million-dollar companies since 2009 when he left corporate America at 24. So an entrepreneur and a philanthropist of multiple seven-figure startups, he now empowers others through not only consulting and coaching, but launching AG, which is Alexander's Grace. And his clients experience unrivaled transformation, success, spirituality, relationship, well-being, purpose, and abundance is basically his gateway into making other people's life better. And his children, wait for it, this is really cute. His children are Noah Alexander and Liliana Grace. So you can find out more at the website Alexander's Grace. So Brad, thank you for popping on here. We actually have a meeting after this, so this works out.
Well, thank you for having me. It's absolutely a pleasure.
Yay. Well, so what we're going to do basically is I'm just going to throw a bunch of questions that people had sort of emailed in and wanted to know based on entrepreneurship, sorry, it's been a day, and startups in general and basically pitfalls that they can avoid. So are you ready?
Do it.
Okay, we're doing it. So question number one, because you started super early, how did you know you were destined to be an entrepreneur in the first place?
For me, it was really early. It was a lot earlier than when I started at 24 when I actually made the leap. When I was, 5, 6, 7 years old, I really knew that early that I liked business. I liked making things and selling things and, just that kind of thing. As I grew older, the spirit just grew stronger. It didn't, go down. And so a lot of times people have jobs they wanted to go towards, and I didn't. I knew that I did not want to have a job. And so, I did well when I was working in the jewelry industry. That was the jobs that I did have. But long term, I knew that at a certain point, and my goal was by the time I was 25, to leave corporate America and to leave that cushy job to pursue my dreams. And I'm blessed to have that opportunity.
That's awesome. So how did the path start then, and how did you become a business owner?
So I sold pretty much everything I had, generated $7,000. And with that $7,000, we turned that into an $11 million company over a couple of years, buying gold from over 10,000 people. And in the Maryland and Pennsylvania area predominantly. So we work with that, but more importantly, with that company, we were able to donate over $250,000 to charities.
I didn't know that.
For all the women, predominantly women who worked in that company, we paid out over $2 million in commissions. So it was really giving back in like different ways. It wasn't just giving back in one way. It was like knowing that it gave me proof to myself that that assurance to myself that I was capable of creating an amazing team, because that's where it starts, is with an amazing team. And with that team, we were able to scale the company. And so I think it's really important that people, sometimes get really caught up in themselves, and they forget that collaboration can be really incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, all right. So you've done multiple 6, 7-figure businesses. So how long did it take you to hit your first 6-figure mark?
I hit 6 figures when I was a teenager, but in terms of in sales. So I worked in jewelry, like I said, since I was 17 years old till the time I was 24, and now I still do diamond wholesale. So if anybody needs any jewelry out there, you can message me, hit me up on brad@legacy.com, or find me on Facebook, because I do offer jewelry at wholesale, but it's really on the side and referral only at this point. But I just sold my ass off, you know what I mean? And the thing that was funny that came to me last year, actually, for the first time, and I'm being dead serious, I'm not trying to be like silly here, that I didn't really understand the true why of why I was so good at selling jewelry. You know what I mean? And that was the path I was on. Why was I the number one salesperson out of 800 people? Why? Like, what was the real reason? And I couldn't figure it out. And then last year, one of my friends who sang, it was a little, farther down the path of spirituality than I am, said, brother, it's your intuition. It is your intuition. You know exactly, the sacred timing that is in a sales presentation, and to close with your heart. You don't have to close with your head. You don't have to close with old school tactics. He's like, you're using innovative tactics and you don't even know it yet. And so that was a really cool thing for me to recognize, like just recently, that your intuition is such an imperative role that plays in the sales process.
So cool. And I think that's really, really important for people to understand too, because no matter what you do, guys, you're going to be in sales, period. It's going to happen. Whether you're selling yourself, your company, your services, all of it. I'm going to retract the whole selling yourself, but technically it's the same thing. You are always selling. So he's absolutely right about, channeling in the right timing and everything. So that's actually a really cool insight that has not been said yet. So what do you feel is the best action step that our viewers who are thinking about either starting a business or growing their businesses should implement right now?
The first thing I would do is write down truly write down the business in less than 3 sentences. Write down the entire business in less than 3 sentences, because you need to keep it simple. So many entrepreneurs make everything so fucking complicated. Am I allowed to say that? I'm sorry.
I mean, it's not live TV. You're good.
Many entrepreneurs make it so complicated for themselves by creating so many different things in so many different areas versus having a true purpose to why they are creating something special, to why they are creating their company. And I think once an entrepreneur can create in 3 sentences what you are doing, it really gives you clarity. And I think in the beginning, you really need some clarity to go. Now, as things progress, you're going to have to pivot because you're going to get cloudy. I promise you that. But to create a little bit of clarity as to what the company is to have it in less than 3 sentences.
So what are the 3 sentences of one of your businesses now?
So for Alexander's Grace, our promise is to offer premier online business academies and training programs from elite entrepreneurs from all around the world. And to always learn and evolve always learn and evolve inside of our business.
That was 3 sentences. That was good. That was right there. All right. So
that basically evolves, and that doesn't have to be, but it can become part of your mission statement. Like that's our mission statement. So for someone who wants to start somewhere, maybe that's where you start. I don't really think there's a right or wrong way to start. The 3 words is just do it. Like just do something, whether it's a mission statement, whether it's creating the first paragraph of your executive summary of your business plan, whether it's, creating a Facebook group. I think if you just create something, that is the cultivation of miracles. Like I talk about it in modules in Alexander's Grace, is that you literally have the ability to cultivate and create a miracle in your life. And you have to have the awareness of what you want to create, and you have to have the action plan. So you have to just take it day by day and just create these structures in your life, and you will cultivate that miracle.
You're so freaking energetic and inspirational. You really are. Like I love when you start talking, because I'll just be like, okay, yeah, whatever he says, we'll do that. So moving on to the next one, most successful people. I know you're going to love this one because it's something that you and I have actually spoken about before. Most successful people have a daily routine or a ritual. Can you share yours?
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of meditation, a couple hours a day, to be honest. And, I work from home, so it's easy to meditate, obviously with my schedule. I'm able to create the schedule that I want to create. And so that's one of the blessings of being an entrepreneur, is that I get to work with people when I want to. And so if I want to sleep in until like 10 o'clock, I can. And, if I want to work till 11 p.m., I can. And so as an entrepreneur, it doesn't mean it's easier. It's not. It's harder. That's why 90% of entrepreneurs fail. That's why I created Alexander's Grace, was to fill a void where so many coaches are out there coaching, and they're fantastic at what they do. A lot of them, some are, a lot are, but they don't have the business background. They don't have the entrepreneurial spirit necessarily that they're born with, but you can certainly learn. and certainly recondition your brain to become a very successful entrepreneur, whether you were blessed with natural talent or not. And so Alexander's Grace is created to, again, fill that void.
That's awesome. Okay, so what is the number one thing that will prevent burnout? Because you specifically, and you, and actually David Bear, yourself, and April Iannazone are probably the three, and Sean Shuchek, some of the other ones that I'm interviewing. You all are very balls to the wall. You never let up. You don't stop. So how do you, and yes, everybody that just heard him say he can sleep in until 10, that doesn't mean he does. The man is up, running, working all the freaking time. He just knows that he could if he really wanted to. So when it comes to the one thing that would prevent burnout, what's your secret?
You know, I think sometimes people get burnt out when they lose their passion. Mm-hmm. And they blame it on a lot of things. There's always a lot of smoke screens of why people burn out sometimes. I work 100 hours a week. Well, of course, anybody's going to get burnt out if you work 100 hours a week. But I think a lot of the reason why people get burnt out, honestly, is their ego. And I believe that what happens is that people tend to get rejected a lot in business. Like when you're starting a new company, you're going to experience a lot of rejection and a lot of no. And I think that the natural ego that we have, and I'm not referring to it as like, I'm a better than you type of ego. I'm trying more of a deeper spiritual ego base where, you know, if someone is telling you over and over again that you're not worth it, just because they didn't buy your product or your service, our ego tells us that we are not worth it. And then guess what happens?
Got it. So if you could tell our viewers, really one thing that they could do that would help jumpstart their business, or whether it's a rebrand or a new business, or they're just starting out or they're ready to grow to the next level, if there was one thing they could do to grow that business, what would it be?
I mean, for right now, there's so many advantages to technology. You need to get yourself out there is the biggest thing. Mm-hmm. So putting yourself on Facebook Live, if you're uncomfortable, that's okay. Keep doing it anyway. Talk to it like you're talking to one person. It's really not that hard. You have to get yourself out there and get people talking about you. You don't want to just, how you build your following and how you get people interested in what you're creating is simply by you having them fall in love with who you are. And so the second thing that's really important is you better be authentic, because people can see right through a Facebook Live. I'm telling you, I can see through people just like you can see through people. So you really want to make sure that you're being your true self online, because when you get in front of people, they already know who you are. It's so much easier to sell a package or a program or a retreat if they already have built a relationship with you online. So I would say the number one thing is to get your social footprint and your business online.
That's awesome. So later tonight, actually, we just released this interview, and then later tonight we are actually going to be sending out a link to, and guys, this really is an awesome gift that he's giving our viewers right now. So can you tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing for all the people that want this?
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking for how long? Like 15 minutes?
Yeah.
And covered a lot of ground, and I move pretty fast. And so, my
he really does.
My specialty is business, and I love it. And we talk, you get a 30-minute complimentary sample session with me as either a life or a business coach. I say life and business coach because they're together. People want to separate everything, but at the end of the day, if you don't have your life in order, your business is not going to be in order. So I talk to entrepreneurs. Most of my clients are entrepreneurs, but we talk about various topics. So if you have an area in your life you want to develop, whether it's your business or relationship, and you want to fix, you want to reinvent an area in your life, that is something that can be done fairly quickly, and you can certainly get a taste of that with me within 30 minutes.
That's awesome. And that's like, you're one of the only people that we're interviewing that you're actually giving your time, which that's crazy valuable, guys. And I'm speaking from experience that Brad, mind blown. Like you get 15 minutes with him and you see this high energy. It's constant. And he will guide you in the right direction. So thank you so much. I know that a bunch of people are going to hop on that offer. That's awesome. And thank you for being a part of this. That's awesome.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thank you so much, Alex. I appreciate it. It's fun.
All right. Bye.
Take care.